All right, thanks, Coach. EA Sports coverage of the National Football League is on the air. Nothing like the fanfare of introductions to an NFL game, and that was in evidence a moment ago. Fireworks, pyrotechnics, you name it. This crowd is ready as their guys get set to match up between the Los Angeles Chargers and the New York Jets. Versus 0-3. Will current form hold? We'll find out as we're off in Week 4. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. Fights him off. And he'll take it up past the 25 to the 26-yard line. They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. And he will find his man on the outside. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. That throw good for 4. It's second down.
And, partner, I think that was a great example that not all tight ends are created equal. Because everything was right. Got the completion, but he's not one of the more dynamic guys in the league. So even though he caught it, couldn't turn it into much more.
4 yards on that last completion, so that sets up 2nd and 6. They'll run for the first time with Johnson. And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. It'll be a pickup of 16 and a Jet first down.
And there we see an early burst that makes him one of the leading rushers in the league.
Well, I want you to know, I listened to you yesterday when we were watching film. You said write down the word vision for him. It was on display there, wasn't it?
It certainly was, because he allows the blocks to set up in front of him. And if that continues, it's going to be a long afternoon for those guys trying to play some defense.
They're going to look to throw. And he's got his man in stride, complete. And he'll work it across midfield inside the 45. They get 10 more there, and I believe that'll be enough for another first down. It will. So from Charger territory now, here's a 1st and 10 at the 43. Now a handoff. Johnson looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. Casey Hayward makes the tackle. Well, they know how to protect the pass, but sometimes cornerbacks, they can also stop the run, can't they?
Is that what we call a complete corner? Yeah, because we're so used to these guys just being defenders in the pass game. How about the guys who can come up and make the tackles? That's what we just saw there for no gain, too.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And that is incomplete. He was looking for Quincy Enunwa that time, and now it's 3rd down.
What I loved about meeting with these coaches before the game is we didn't even have to ask any questions. They told us that they were going to be aggressive and push the ball downfield. They weren't successful on that play, but look for them to try it again later.
An incomplete pass on 2nd down. That muddles things a little bit here. This is 3rd and 10. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this first quarter. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Found his target. It's Anderson. And they'll wind up getting this one all the way down inside the 20. A gain of 26 on the 3rd down conversion. They go back to the ground with Johnson. And he's got this one down to the 10. A solid run on first down. Gain of 7 leaves them with a 2nd and 3. Pretty effective run there, and now they can start to smell that end zone.
Pound the rock. Make sure you use your O-line to set the tone of dominance and physicality, and pound the rock.
Back to throw here. Flush to his right. And he will avoid the contact as he slides to a stop. A good decision in the end to pull it and run, gets him 9 yards and a first.
And him running the football is not something that defenses spend a lot of time preparing for. But this guy has a survival instinct and a knack for knowing when exactly to do it.
They'll try and run. This is Johnson. And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Duke Johnson, his 5th touchdown now on the year. And the Jets take the ball down the field and score on their opening drive. Gold able to tack on the extra point, and it's now a 7-0 game. And the punter who also does the kickoff duties, Locke Edwards, out to kick it away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. They'll run. This is Melvin Gordon. And he'll get this one up to the 26. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up the score.
On 2nd down, they'll run with Gordon. Looking to find a lane, but he can't. Reined in at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play there, so that doesn't help. Now they're looking up at a 3rd and 9 situation. They'll set up to throw. Going to throw right side here, complete. And they work this well upfield across the 45. The 21 yards there as they convert on 3rd. They'll drop to throw. He's got Allen. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
One thing we do know, he's going to get his catches. So as they move forward defensively, got to continue to focus on not giving up the big play when he does catch the ball in the secondary.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. They'll run it now out of the gun. And now they're going to get him down right at the line of scrimmage. No gain on the play, and now they're faced with a 3rd and 1.
A quick observation, Brandon, because early on in this game, I'm seeing linebackers playing with their noses close to the line of scrimmage.
And my guess is the wheels are turning on that other sideline. As a play caller, you're filing that away right now, aren't you?
Yeah, you're trying to find that opportunity later on when you can play action them or stick something to them between the 2nd and the 3rd level.
They'll look to throw. And it's complete. Henry fighting through, and he's got space.
Wrap up.
Still moving. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. They're able to convert on third down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. A first red zone opportunity here for the Chargers. This is 1st and goal from about the 8. 1st and goal, Melvin Gordon. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd and goal.
Well, it's been the air game that's taken them down on this drive before they finally turned around and handed it off on the last play.
And now they're looking for the big boys to get him in the end zone. Couldn't do it there. Nothing on 1st down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line. 2nd and goal.
Hurry up, here we go. Green 39. Green 39.
He'll look to throw. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Jabal Sheard in there to make the sack. He buries him for a loss of 10. This offense 2 for 2 on third downs on this drive. They're in for a tough test here, though. 3rd and long.
Watch it now, Barney.
They'll set up a throw. Escaping the pressure right. And probably the wise decision there. No one open. He just throws it away. And that keeps the field goal on the table as it's 4th down.
I think that was a good job there defensively. They did allow them to drive all the way downfield, but once they got their backs to the goal line, they really turned up the pressure.
Yeah, they let them get all the way down here. Now the field shrinks. They've struggled to convert, and that last incompletion brings up 4th. So, yes, it's only 3, but at least they're able to answer back after giving up the touchdown to start the game.
Yeah, I like the observation there because getting some points on the board, very positive for them. Feel a little bit better about things because if you don't score, you potentially have opened the door for them to score again, and then you're down 14.
Here's the Jet offense now. They head out to take over. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
No gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down. Well, they had the run for no gain. Now they'll try again from the 25 on 2nd and 10. Now he'll look to throw here on 2nd and 10. And a flag comes in as that one falls incomplete. Well, let's see who this is on. So the contact came before the ball got there, and the flag is thrown.
Timing is everything, isn't it? And it's so hard to cover these great receivers. They have such great body control, and they can fake you out. In this case, as you described, got there before the ball got to the receiver. Penalty flag had to come out.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 49. And his guys will set up shop at midfield at the 50-yard line. So the first interception of his career under center, and you knew it was going to happen sooner or later.
It has to. And I know he feels like the world is just tumbling down at this moment, but there's got to be some veteran somewhere, some mentor that's going to tell him, hang in there, my man. Plenty more to come. Keep firing.
Now Gordon on 1st down. And he'll take it across midfield down into Jet territory. Give him 5 on the carry there, and it'll be 2nd down.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable 2nd down. A very solid gain on that play.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
Now a handoff. This is Gordon. Looking for a crease, can't find one. Stopped at the line of scrimmage. They'll say no gain on the play there, and now it'll be 3rd down. He makes a wonderful play there off the corner, protecting his side of the field.
Oh, that reminds me of the great defenses of old, doesn't it? The Pittsburgh Steelers steel curtain. They would not let you get on the field if you could only do one thing. You had to be a complete guy, and you had to be able to tackle.
Now, I know I've said this before, but you know I wasn't alive when the steel curtain was played. I know them, but I just want to let you know I wasn't alive.
I'm going to keep peppering that in there, and one of these days you're going to think that you were.
Now a third down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up fourth down. To punt it away on fourth down, here's Drew Kaiser. And the win last week punted 4 times as this one's away. Oh, he'll field it in the end zone. So possession goes over here on the punt. And the Jets are going to take over at their own 20-yard line. New York set to take the field. A tale of two extremes already in this game. A touchdown pass on their opening drive followed by an interception last time out.
Now, it sounds like things balance out, right? What's that mythological thing that we do? If you have a candy bar, have a...
And he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
Don't need it all back at once, but you figure they're going to need something here. 17 yards to go on second down. Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete. The pressure really ratcheting up. They get the sack on first down, then a near sack. They got to him there just as it was leaving his hand.
Yeah, they might need to change their pass protection scheme a little bit. Maybe bring another guy into the backfield to help protect the quarterback, because that was awfully close.
And he's got a moonwalk. And they're going to get this beyond the 40 before he's taken down. Give him 30 yards there. Well, we know he's got the speed there. He needed the speed and the hands. A great catch.
And because of that speed, you have to respect it as a defender. So you have to either play off or make sure you're somehow in contact with him. And he's able to do exactly what you said. Use the speed to his advantage and go up and get the football. That's a big-time play right there.
They go play action here on first down. And he finds a man on a crossing route. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Give him 30 yards there.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that, have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down. Really good defensive effort. They were all over that little swing pass out to the right side before lost yardage.
Terrific read, better execution, and done with a lot of enthusiasm, wasn't it?
Absolutely.
They saw it all the way, ran to the football, and caused a nice play for lost yardage.
Detroit! Detroit!
He'll drop to throw. And incomplete on the deep ball.
Right up to that point, I was about to say he's had a pretty good half catching the football, but let's just be honest about it. He should have caught that one.
And he knows that. That was one right in his breadbasket and one he normally catches.
Detroit! Gone! 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 Gone!
They'll look to throw here. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off inside the 10. And the return will stop right around the 25.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
He'll start the drive with a run by Gordon. And he'll work his way across the 30 to the 32. It's a 7-yard carry to set them up with a 2nd and 3. Two minutes to play here in the first half. We'll come back to MetLife Stadium after this short timeout. They'll operate from the 32-yard line here, 2nd and 3. Now they'll pitch it out. This is Gordon. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That good for 19 and a first down.
Well, so much for him being bottled up throughout the day. Finally finds a way to break through and get a really nice gain. The defense had felt great about what they had going. Now they've got to turn their attention to getting it back in that direction. Can they bottle him up again? Because I'd say after that run, confidence is pretty high for him.
He's airing it out for Williams. So they took a shot on first down but couldn't connect.
It's been my observation there's been a nice variety of play calling defensively. You and I often talk about an offense's ability to keep a defense off balance with what they're doing. I think the converse has been true in this game.
Yeah, I think you're right. They seem to have gone off tendency quite a bit, but only the second quarter, a lot of time to change things. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Back to throw. Under pressure here, and down he goes. Sacked back at about the 43-yard line. Now the Jets are going to burn another timeout as they'll talk it over here before what will be an important 3rd down. He'll look to throw. Flushed out right. Now he'll let it go deep right. And that's caught inside the 30. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. That goes for a gain of 31. Back in the first quarter, you said it, they need to avoid the big play, but he just got a big one right there.
You can't relax. You know, we talked about in the first quarter, but as the game progresses, still opportunities, and he took advantage of one there.
Forced out to his left. Henry's got it out on the left side. And he'll take it down here just shy of the 15 at the 16-yard line. 10 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be 2nd down. On play action, they'll throw. Got a man, it's Allen for the Charger touchdown. Keenan Allen, his 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Chargers are able to strike for 6. Sturgis adds the PAT, and the lead is now 10-7. Sturgis out now to kick this one off. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. The Jets offensive unit ready to get going here. And what do you think goes on here in this situation? If you got the football, you're trailing, you're back in your own territory with just a little time. Do you try something?
You're thinking about jump-starting your team, right? You just mentioned it. They're down. They're trying to get back into the game. But you got to figure, if something goes wrong, you may have put yourself in a spot where you may not be able to come back in the second half. Managing risk, this is a big decision here.
They'll look to throw here on first down. And an alley to run. He'll get 10 there all on his own, but it'll be 2nd down. Now hold everything here. We're going to get a timeout by the offense as they stop it with 16 seconds to go in half number 1. Now they'll throw here out of the gun. And he's got his man on the out route. It's a 9-yard gain, and it keeps the drive moving. And he spikes it to stop the clock. And now if they choose, they'll have a chance at maybe a long field goal try here just before the break. So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. They'll spot it at the 47, so call it a 57-yard attempt. And this kick is not going to be close. It's well short, well right to boot. So we have... All right, folks, eager to get back to this Week 4 matchup. We won't put up a fight. So the Chargers will start the second half with the lead and the football as we're underway in the third quarter. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And a nice return sets him up pretty good here at the 30-yard line. Out comes the Chargers as they'll go on offense now to start this third quarter. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ball game.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show them one thing, hit them with something else.
Now back to throw. And he takes a shot on the release as this will be incomplete. Allen, the intended receiver, and that'll bring up second down.
Play action is supposed to be used to slow down pressure, slow down blitzes. In this case, though, if it takes a little too long to develop, you got people right in your face.
And lucky just to get rid of the ball with the arm going forward. Could have been a fumble. Looking to throw. Throw right side, complete to Williams. And he'll be brought down right around the 37. The reception good for 7. It's third down.
He decided to run a hitch route. It really helped to have a guy who can turn it loose. And, boy, he rifled one in there on that one. Not much run after catch, but it worked really well.
The Chargers on third down. They've converted 3 out of 5 thus far. This time it's 3rd and 3. And he fires one that's intercepted. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line.
Back there in that Philly. Here we go. Gone.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. And nearly picked off there. Almost intercepted. Instead, second down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that first down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
Here now is 2nd and 10, again from the 41. And on the left sideline, he caught it, but out of bounds, according to the head linesman. Incomplete, so the ball a little late getting there, and it's third down. The turnover put him in great field position. They don't want to squander it with third down coming up.
No, not at all. And you know what else you do? You make your defense mad.
Yeah.
They got you the football, gave you a great opportunity. You got to cash in and get some points.
That's complete to Meredith. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. Give them 12 yards there, and the Jets have a first. This quarterback now 9 of 17 through the air. They'll run it now out of the gun. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18.
Sometimes it's hard to believe, but there are times this game is about patience, isn't it? Has had the game he expected, but that run there, that may get him going.
I was just going to say, maybe that gives him a little juice, because you're right, he struggled, especially in that first half.
Yeah, and I know the great ones always think to themselves, just hang in there. I'm just one big carry away from busting this open. That's a good start for him.
And he'll get this one down to about the 10-yard line. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down, Johnson. And there is nowhere for him to cut back as he's taken down in the backfield. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
The best offenses and the ones that win are ones that make adjustments. And right now, I think this team needs to open things up.
Big play coming up. Here's 3rd and 10.
I would expect to see some pressure here.
The pressure drops off as they'll look to throw. Oh, he may have gotten lucky. Tried to dump it off underneath on the check down. Nearly picked. Instead, it's incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
And Gold is able to put it through. And that will knot us up at 10. So they come away from this opening drive of the third quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job one, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the second half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And now out on the field, here comes Los Angeles. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack him here. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down. First play of the drive goes the wrong way. Here's second and 12. They're going to look to throw. This is Gordon on the dump off. And he takes this up to the 40-yard line before being corralled. 18 big yards on that one, and a Charger first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
Now a 10th carry for Melvin Gordon. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be second down. Off the corner. Where'd he come from? Well, I guess he came off the corner, but really nice play.
I like when you're able to pose a question and answer it at the same time. That's exactly where he came from, but it's not something that you normally see. Most of the time, we're thinking about those guys covering pass catchers. In this case, he was a big factor in the run game. No gain.
He's going to fire one deep over the middle. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you can go make a play on the football.
The Chargers on third down. They've hit it 50%, 3 of 6 to this point. This is 3rd and 10. Dancing to his left. Now he's going to let it go deep, and that's caught inside the 30. And they're able to work this to the 25 before it's all said and done. An excellent pickup of 34 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 at the 25-yard line. The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Trying to force it to Allen, and it's intercepted. Picked up on Jalen Mills. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. The intended receiver there, Allen.
Detroit! Detroit! Watch him now, Barney! Barney!
Back to throw now in his own end zone. And Anderson's got it. And they'll get him down right around the 11-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Well, if you do read man coverage, Brandon, the drag route's a pretty good one to run against it because you're running away from people on it.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
Detroit! Detroit!
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. Underneath for Johnson. Give him 12 yards there, and the Jets have it first.
So many times you hear today's NFL described as a space game. Get your best players into space with the football in their hands. That's why sometimes you just swing it out to your runner, get him out in the flat, and let him have a chance to make people miss an open field.
A first down carry here for Johnson. Giants are going to take the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Fielded about a yard deep. Oh, a nice spin. Oh, it shifts past him. And he'll bring it back to just about the 25. Call it the 24-yard line. The Charger offense making their way back out there. And there are parts of their last drive they'd like to emulate. And, of course, they'd like to forget the inning, the interception. But they did put together, Charles, a nice sustained drive to get him down the field.
Yeah, and unfortunately for them, the only thing that matters is part two, right? Because once they threw the interception and finished off the drive, that does them no good to go back and say, well, you know, we had a good one going. Finish things off. That's the only way you can get it done.
Give him 3 on first down. It'll set up a 2nd and 7.
Watch it now, Barney! Barney!
They keep it on the ground. Again, Gordon. 9 yards on the pickup there, and it keeps the drive alive.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of their yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They'll set up to throw. Throwing the out route incomplete. That's Williams. And he'll be taken down across the 50. This quarterback now a perfect 8 for 8 to start the second half. Not bad. 1st and 10.
All right, here we go. Boom, landed.
They'll drop to throw. Over the middle, and it's caught. Keenan Allen. And here he'll be brought down a little shy of the 35 at the 36. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Fired that one in there, able to make connection on a nice in route.
With those faster passes when they're going that fast, any hesitation as a quarterback that the deflection, if you miss, might be bigger and lead to an interception?
Yeah, and the deflection works both ways. Maybe a defender gets a hand in the way and it pops in the air. And sometimes you throw it so hard your receiver can't handle it, and he pops it up in the air for the defenders to grab as well.
But a moot point there as they were able to connect. A gain of 4 that time as the drive continues.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
So signs of life in what's been a dormant offense in this second half. Here's 1st and 10.
Set. Green 39. Green 39.
On first down, he'll drop to throw. Toward the center of the field, but it's incomplete. He was trying to get that one to Allen that time. That'll bring up 2nd down.
Brandon, it looked like he had his hands on it for a moment, but let's face it, that was going to be a tough catch all the way because of the presence of the defense right there as he was trying to haul it in.
Yeah, nice job to force the incompletion. Here's 2nd and 10 now from about the 32. They'll run it now out of the gun. And able to push his way forward here for a good little gain. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. You'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
The Chargers on 3rd down. They've hit 4 of 7. This is 3rd and 4. They'll look to throw. And incomplete here on 3rd down.
That's a good job there creating the contact to force the incompletion. And now since it's 4th down, that should set up a field goal situation.
And a nice sigh of relief defensively to be able to hold them to 3. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. Steps away to his left. And that is caught. He's got his running back downfield. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. Wow, 1st and goal, and defensively all they can do is shake their heads. Not only did they allow the conversion, but a big play as well. A looming decision to make on the conversion, down 7, but first things first, they need to score as they come up on 1st and goal. They'll try and punch it in. Gordon. And the second wave of tacklers is going to get him as they stop him behind the line. A loss of a full 3 yards, and now it's 2nd down.
Doesn't matter who you're rooting for in this game. The effort of the man with the football, getting away from one and trying to turn forward and get some yardage, I really liked what he did there.
Back to throw here. Rolling to his right. And he'll just throw this one over in the way of the security crew. Incomplete here.
Well, I like that right there. Not only was it the right play, throwing it away like that, frankly, I think it was the only play.
Yeah, got outside of the pocket, realized he had nothing, just chucked it free.
Yeah, live to fight another down, right?
You got to think this is likely 4-down territory anyway, but they'll try to punch it in now on 3rd and goal. They'll set up a throw. And down he goes. Pressure gets him back at the 14. They've been moving the ball well offensively, really getting into a groove. Last play, pass completion. Now, finally, the defense gets there.
And you have to find a way to disrupt their rhythm. Do you do it with coverage, or do you do it with pressure? They elected to go with pressure, and it was the right call.
So an interesting call there to take the 3. I mean, I guess they're thinking that their hands were tied, but, you know, 4th quarter, that field goal might not help them that much in the end.
Yeah, eventually they're going to need the touchdown. The thinking must have been they didn't feel confident about picking it up there, hoping maybe on defense they can get better field position, get a turnover, get a better play, and then they'll have a chance to attack the end zone.
New York set to take the field. Right now clinging to a 1-score lead, Charles, and I think operating within that 4-minute offense with a little less than 4 minutes to go applies here, right?
It certainly does, and that means the playbook is still wide open. But you are a little bit more careful about what you're calling. You want plays they're going to gain yardage, how would you say it, consistently, right? You don't need the big shots downfield, but make sure the clock continues to run. Pile up the first downs. And the goal? End the game with your quarterback kneeling down at the end, and you still have the lead. Brandon, you know how many times we've done games, and at the start of the 4th quarter, we see both teams hold up the 4 fingers, 4th quarter is ours. Well, how about this drive? You saw the 4 fingers for 4-minute offense, and this offensive line has really hunkered down and established themselves.
Now, this is where they say, put the game on our shoulders, we'll lead the way, right?
No doubt about it. And let me tell you, if you're a running back, all you want to do is get behind those big fellas, have a little vision, and find some space.
And a solid way to do that on the first play of the drive there. 10 yards is the pickup, good enough for a Jet first down. Now on the heels of that run by Johnson, here's another 1st and 10. They'll hand it off now. Johnson. Brought down, but after we saw a flashy little move, stopped short of the 40. 7 yards on the pickup there, and it'll leave them with a 2nd and 3. Now, the objective there, I mean, yes, the positive gain, that's nice, but work some clock.
Yeah, you're exactly right, but the problem for them is still within a possession, so they can't just sit on it running the ball. They'll have to find a way to throw it effectively as well.
Here we go.
On 2nd down, they run with Stewart. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
One of the bigger plays in the game thus far. The crowd getting into it as we come up on a big 3rd down.
Set. 3-19. 3-19.
He'll look to throw. Going up top. And that is caught one-handed. Oh, my, he pulled it in. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. Quincy Enunwa, his first touchdown on the year. And the Jets are going to add on to their lead. so does the kickoff duties. Lock Edwards out to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback. They go play action here on first down. And he's going to be grabbed and pulled down. A rough couple of weeks for the man under center. 5 sacks last week, 4 now this week. Do you try to design some quicker developing plays if you're an offensive coordinator?
I think you do that. I think you also change his launch point at times. In other words, move your pocket to the right, to the left. Roll him out, bootleg him, do some different things so they can't just rely on the fact that he's going to take 3 to 5 steps back in the pocket and line up and throw the football.
Yeah, current formula is not working right now. Now that gets back some of what they needed, but they're still stuck here with a 3rd and 13.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney.
He'll drop to throw. Eluding the pressure right. Now a desperation throw deep. They've got his man complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. That one goes for 29 yards on 3rd down. Elsewhere, a 4th quarter score now from Tampa. Now you saw the score at the bottom of your screen a moment ago. We got a good one going on there. If they hang on, that would up their win total to 5 on the season so far. Flush to his right. Over the middle, complete. It's Jordan. And past the 35, he'll be dropped a yard or 2 shy of the 30. And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead as they get the stoppage with just under 50 seconds remaining in the 4th. From the 32 now, here's 1st and 10. They'll look to throw now on first down. Being chased out left. And he'll work it inside the 30 to the 29-yard line. He'll get 3 yards on the scramble there at 2nd down. Clock rolling here, about to hit 30 seconds. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Throwing the out route and complete. It's Williams. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. Now whistles come in. We're going to get a timeout here by the offense as they get it with just 19 seconds left on the clock.
Now let's go. Green 39. Green 39.
From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. And that is incomplete. 16 seconds now on the clock. The safety, Jamal Adams, able to break that one up.
It's always a battle. Who's going to win on first down, the offense or the defense? Let's face it, if you've got the ball, 4 yards or more on first down is what you're aiming for. They tried to throw for it there. Nice effort to knock that one away and bring up 2nd down.
All right, now, lucky 56. Lucky 56.
Back to throw now on 2nd and 10. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by the linebacker, Avery Williamson. And to the 12. That's where it stops. The return is halted at the 12-yard line.
Obviously disappointing, but you had to go for broke here, down 2 scores. So that forced you to make some throws you definitely wouldn't want to make. And I think this interception is going to pretty much write an end to this one.
Now it looks like he'll throw here. That's complete over the middle to Anderson. And he's able to get this one all the way past the 30. Backed up deep